Hey everyone, this is James from Brewing Books. So I've recently acquired the standard hardback and the deluxe editions of Tolkien's The Battle of Maldon. And I've read through this book, which ultimately has left me with an increased appreciation towards Tolkien's scholarly work on the Anglo-Saxon world. In case you're not aware, the Battle of Maldon is a historic battle which took place in 991 AD, in which an Anglo-Saxon army in Britain fails to repel a Viking invading force. The battle is recounted in a fragment of an Old English poem with some 300 verses. And it is from this very same poem that Tolkien wrote his own prose translation of the battle, and is to be found for the very first time in this book. And both the poetic and prose translations of the Battle of Maldon include themes of chivalry, courage, loyalty, foolhardiness, and of course war. Included in this book is also one of Tolkien's previously published works, The Homecoming of Beorthnoth, which is a work of historical fiction inspired by the Battle of Maldon poem. In essence, it is written in alliterative verse and works almost like a play in which we have a dialogue between two characters after the battle has been fought. This work, The Homecoming of Beorthnoth, is also accompanied by two short essays by Tolkien himself, one on the historical battle and the origin of the Old English poem, and the other essay on Offermod, that concept in Old English literature of having too much pride or courage in oneself, which is very similar to the ancient Greek term of hubris. All that is to be found in this book, which is edited by Peter Grybauskas. In addition, the book also contains an unpublished essay or lecture by Tolkien entitled The Versification of Old English, which deals with the nature of poetic tradition. And it also includes several introductory notes, commentaries by Grybauskas himself, and several drafts and sketches of Tolkien's Homecoming poem. All in all, this is a fantastic book, especially if you are interested not only in a subject which was very dear to Tolkien, but also if Anglo-Saxon history and its poetic tradition are also of interest to you. Ultimately, this was a very fascinating read to me. And I have to say that although we're used to having these posthumous publications edited usually by Christopher Tolkien or Verilyn Flieger, this was the first time that I had read a book by Peter Grybauskas. And I have to say that his structure, approach and presentation of the overall book were on point. Even his accompanying commentary on each section of the book, which was very clear and precise. Perhaps one small criticism on this book is the omission of the original poem of the Battle of Maldon, which would have served a useful purpose in not only being able to read the actual source of work, but also then compare it to Tolkien's own prose translation of that same poem. But anyways, overall this book very much reminded me of Tolkien's own prose translation of Beowulf. It's so fascinating the way Tolkien takes the limitedness and abstractedness of verse and transforms it into something very descriptive and vivid in his prose translations. It almost feels like you're reading or listening to an Anglo-Saxon eyewitness describing the events of the battle itself. As for the deluxe edition of this book, besides the usual aesthetic and presentation of these particular books, this slipcase edition includes the usual color frontispiece, which reproduces a page of Tolkien's original manuscript of The Homecoming of Beorthnoth. And as usual, it is printed on acid-free paper with a ribbon marker. As usual with these deluxe editions, it is quarter-bound with a unique illustration by Bill Sanderson, which is gold foiled on grey boards, and is housed in this custom-built slipcase. Now, something which is very interesting, which I don't think has been done, at least recently, in these deluxe editions. This particular edition of the Battle of Maldon includes a digitally remastered recording on a CD of The Homecoming of Berknot, read by J.R.R. Tolkien and Christopher Tolkien themselves. This is available on CD for the first time, and I think it's a remarkable addition to anyone interested in hearing the author and his son reading this very famous and important battle in Anglo-Saxon literature. So if you're either a serious Tolkien reader who would like to learn more of Tolkien's academic work, or even if you're interested in Anglo-Saxon history and literature in general, here's another book for you. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.